Good afternoon. My name is Vinothan Naidoo. I'm a senior lecturer in public policy and administration at the University of Cape Town in South Africa. I'd like to thank you for inviting me to make a contribution to your discussion of administrative reform in Brazil. I recently undertook an assessment of administrative reform in South Africa over the past 20 years, in which I use concepts such as capacity, commitment, and capture to understand the trajectory of reform, including the extent to which South Africa has experimented with new public management elements. These terms have been adapted and were used in an article by Nick Manning, in which he looks at new public management readiness in developing countries. With respect to capture, I argue that South Africa has demonstrated a clear capacity for reform if one considers the extensive restructuring of its bureaucracy since 1994. The country has struggled, however, with its reform of capacity, or the ability to put in place the requisite technocratic skills to manage and implement an ambitious social and economic policy agenda over the past 20 years. Other elements that have factored into this difficulty include strategic and institutional instability in South Africa's efforts to promote management development and training, the need to put in place both traditional administrative/management control skills together with the more output-oriented NPM skills, as well as a limited pool of recruits from which to draw on to staff its senior civil service. With respect to commitment, I argue that South Africa has shown questionable commitment to decentralizing authority to managers, empowering them, or in other words, letting managers manage. Its approach has been ambivalent at best and potentially disempowering of managers at worst. One of the factors that might play into this is the need for the incoming ANC government in 1994 to assert policy control over a civil service that was racially unrepresentative and potentially resistant to change. Thirdly, capture, which also plays into commitment. There have been concerns that South Africa's public administration has been significantly captured by party political interests, including a specific and explicit strategy by the African National Congress to deploy its partisans in the offices of state institutions. Despite the assumption that this would have created, or this may have created, strategic coherence in the upper echelons of the bureaucracy, what we found is that capture, or the risk of capture and partisanship and politicization has actually created instability in the upper echelons of the bureaucracy. And this, I argue, potentially reflects fragmentation and the inability of the African National Congress internally and as a party to control the process of politicization and political appointments, and raises concerns about the extent to which party political control has damaged the objective of instituting a more meritocratic approach to staffing the offices of the civil service. I wish you good luck in your deliberations. Thank you very much.